Yeah, peace greeting to every one of us. So I'm here to make a video on how to do some calculations on Excel and how to know some advanced techniques on Excel. And I'll be using this particular data. We're using this particular data for the example which I want to do. So I'm using this particular data for the example. I'm using this particular example for what I want to do. So, and I'm going to follow a particular instructions. I'm going to follow a particular instructions which I'm going to use to do what I'm meant to do. So that is how I'm going to do that for you guys today. So the instruction is going to be like this. I'm going to read this instruction, then I'm going to come to this particular Excel, then I'm going to execute what the instruction asks me to do. So let's get started. So the first thing, I'm going to go to the question. The first thing in the question says select the balance, then you come to where you have your balance column here. This is my balance. We can all see balance at the top here. So this is my balance. So the next thing I will just have to do is I will come to this place. I'll come to my question, then calculate the sum of the balance. Then I will do the sum and also calculate the average of the credit score. So there are two different things. So the first one says find the sum of the balance. So I will come to this Excel file here, then I will come to this Excel file here. This is my balance. Then I'm going to find the sum under it. So let me put it in front of it like this by putting sum. So I want to find the sum of this total value in front of it. So what I will just have to do is this. I'm just going to have to click on equals to. When you are finding the sum of a range, then you type sum. You open your first bracket. You follow the instructions the way it is being written. Equals to sum. You open the first bracket. Then you went ahead to highlight all the sum. But when you want to highlight, if you know how to highlight with your mouse, it's good. But for me, I love to use my keyboard. Then I will just press shift. I will hold my shift down. Then I use my down arrow key on the keyboard. That is what I will do. So if I'm able to do this, you can see it shows that from the cell number, which is I2 to I50, then I'm going to close the bracket. I'm going to close the bracket. So once I click on close the bracket, then I press enter. You can see it finds the total sum of this value for me under here. So I can easily get the total sum of this value here. So let me add some things to it. I just want to add a background color to it. So I'm going to have it in that form. So one of another thing which I want to do is the instruction says I should find the average of the credit score. Finding the average of the credit score. Where do I have the credit score? This is my column for credit score. Then I'm asked to find the average. So I can decide to put it under here by saying average. Then to find an average, you use equals to sign. Then you type average. Then you open the bracket again. So you do the same process for it. The way we find the sum, you also find the average that way. So you highlight everything. Once you highlight it, you stop at where you have it, then you close the bracket. Once you close the bracket, it gives you the value of the average, and you also have the value of the sum. So I can decide to add a background color to it. So I will know that, okay, this is my average, this is my sum here. So one of the important thing again is the question says check if the sum balance is greater than average. So we are asked to check. We can easily check by checking the numbers ourselves, but if we want to check using Excel, I can decide to write check using if statement. So I want to check using if statement in this place now, in this cell. Anytime a word is outside like this, you can decide to just extend it a little bit. Then you can check here. So if you want to check, you use if statement. For us to use if statement, we start with equals to. Then you type if. Once you use if, you open brackets. Then the first thing is going to be your logic. We are asked to check if the sum balance is greater than the average. Then we come to this place. We click on the sum. Then we use greater than. Then we select the other one. It means that this, you can see, if you see here, we have if statement, the logical test, then set the value to true and set it to false. So if you have something like that, all what you just have to do is to check. Since we have the if statement, then we have comma, then we are going to write our if, which is going to be true. You close, you put the quote, comma again, then you set it to false again, then you put your quote. Don't always forget, in every of your lines you put comma. The first one is logic, you put comma, then you set it to true, you put comma, you set it to false, you put comma, then you close it. Once you close it now, this is going to check if the sum, this is the sum, is greater than this. That's why you see this one is rounded up in blue, while this one is rounded up in red. So you can see the same value as what you have here. So once you press enter, you can see the value changes to true. So that is we are using conditional statement to test. We use a conditional statement to test what they ask us to do there. So the next one is select the sum and convert all to capital letter. Include the this one now. Include the current date and time in your work. So we are asked to include the current date and time. So let me include it in front of it. Let me use date and time. So I want to include it here. So once you type your word that is outside, just come to the top here, expand it. Then I want to include it here. So if you want to include the date and time, you use equals to, then you type now. You close the two brackets. Please hold on. So we close the two brackets by using equals to now. Then we press enter. Once we press enter, it provides the date and time for us immediately. So that's one of the way of checking the date and time. So I can decide to add the background color to this as well. So I'll be able to itemize all what they ask me to do. So another one is the surname. Convert all surname to capital letter. Convert all surname to capital letter. So if I want to do that, all what I have to do is to select the surname. All I have to do is to select the surname rows. Then I convert everything to what I want. So I'm going to do that now. by converting it to what I want. So I'm going to go to my Excel. So once I get to my Excel, I'm going to do that in a couple of minutes. So what I have to do now is to go to my Excel now. Then this is my son name. I think there's something that is going on here. So if I want to do that, I'm going to write the equation here. Then I'm going to type equals to. If you want to convert to, the question says you should convert to capital letter. So I'll just come here, I'll type sum equals to convert to capital letter we use upper. We still have a lot of other functions you can go along with. Then you click on this. Once you click on it, then you close the bracket. Once you close the bracket, you select the son name, then you close the bracket, press enter. Immediately press enter, you can see this son name, which is proper, has been converted to capital letter. Then if I want it to affect everything on this cell, all I just have to do is to drag it down. Then it's going to look for everything in that cell and convert it to capital letter. You can see the names have now been converted to capital letter. Everything here is now in capital letter. So that is what that question says. And the next one is arrange the surname in ascending order. Maybe it might be the instruction is not stated clearly. Maybe we should use the one in capital letter or small letter. So let's assume we are using this one that we have here, the capital letter. We are converting them to ascending and descending order. The first thing is you highlight. If you want, the best way to highlight is to hold your shift, then you press your direction down arrow to do this. So for you now to arrange in descending order, you can see A to Z at the top here, which is from the quick tools, or Z to A. And the question says ascending order. Or you can come to this place, you see sort and filter. And then you select A to Z. Now you can see A to Z. Is this A to Z working like this? It's not sorting this thing properly. Wait, let me use this one that has son in here. Let me use this previous one. So A to Z. Yes, I'm expected to see something like this. Like, do you want to extend? If I click on expand the selection, it means that the way we have A here now, the way we have B here now, B is supposed to be at the top. All this Boni supposed to be at the top. So it's going to affect every line that has this particular B. Every line will be rearranged. But if you click on continue with the current selection, only this one will be sorted in A to Z. But when you click on expand the selection, it's going to affect everything behind it. Both the credit score, the age, everything is going to affect it. And I click on sort. Now I have them in A, B, C arranged according to what I said. That is this one I'm asked to convert to A to Z. So another one is find the highest age value. So we are asked to find the highest age value. So if you come here, where do we have our age? This is where we have our age. They are asked to find the highest value. So we can look at it and find the highest age value. But I can put it as max. To find the highest age value, we use max. Now to do that, we are going to start with equals to, then we use the word max to find the highest value. Then what you just need to do is to highlight everything. Then close the bracket. Once you press enter, the highest value from all these sets is 61. So if you open your eyes very well, you look at this data set, you will see that everything is, the highest number is 51. And other question says that find the lowest age value. We have to also find the lowest age value. So if you have to check for lowest age value, you can put that one is minimum. We call it minimum. Then we do equals to, then minimum. Then you open the bracket. Then you select the range again for the age which you have to find the minimum. Then you can see you close the bracket again. So this is going to help you to find the minimum. So if you look at it directly, it's going to tell us the smallest number in the cell. So we have it as 24. So using this, we get the minimum, we get the maximum. So I can decide to change the background color by clicking on this curve. So I know that okay, these are all the things I'm asked to do, and I've been doing it on the particular data. Now another thing from the question is this: we are asked to convert the entire data set into table. So for us to convert the entire data set into table, we can highlight the whole data set. Then we click on insert, then I click on table. So it's going to ask me that how many of the value we want to convert, then I select OK. You can see all the data set has been converted to table. It's table that used to have this it depends on the color that we are using, but one of the benefits of table is allow us to manage our data, which we have the age, the number, etc. It's going to create more columns. All those columns will be added. Then we'll be able to filter, and we'll be able to do sorting with it directly. So another question now says credit score greater than 500, highlight them to be red. Credit score greater than 500, we should highlight them to be red. We have to use a conditional statement for this, because we can't look for credit score now that is greater than 500. So if I come to this place, where is my credit score? This place. I will now be doing highlighting by color red. Be doing it like this. It is not accepted. So we have to use some other things that is called conditional formatting. So using conditional formatting, we are going to be able to highlight everything at once. So how do we do it? Then we first of all highlight the credit score. You highlight everything. You highlight all the credit score. Then click on conditional format. Conditional formatting is in home, and you highlight cell, then select greater than. So any value greater than, they say that 500. So I can say 500 should have a color of what? You select the color which they ask you, which is red. Then click on OK. So you can see everything that is greater than 500 now has color red. That is what the instruction says. Now the next one says that apply data bar to the balance. So if we come to this place, we can, using conditional formatting, this is our balance. So we can easily do it this way by applying data bar to it. So using data bar now, we can click on this conditional formatting. Then we see data bar here. Then you can select any one of your choice. So we apply data bar to this. So lastly, I think I'm almost done with the question, and the next one is column chart. We should use using credit score and data balance. So we are asked to use credit score and data balance to provide a chart. So to provide a chart using column chart. So we have to use column chart, but the data we have to use is the credit score and the balance. So now let's look at the two. My balance is here, my credit score is here. it will not be very easy for me to do it. So I'll first of all copy this my credit score. I'll copy it using Ctrl C. Then I can paste it beside it here like this. Now the reason for doing it is that the two data you want to use for chart, it has to be placed side by side. So that is for me to be able to align them together. So now the next thing that I have to do is to align the two cells together. You know, if I'm to highlight it, this one and this one, I need to highlight tenure, age, and is not needed. So now that I've highlighted the two, I'm asked to use a column chart. So I'll go to where do I have my chart. I think I should see it in insert. Then you look for the chart you have to use for this is column chart. Then I select the column chart. You can see it provides me the chart of balance and credit score. So you can decide to now change the color of the chart. Maybe you want the blue to be more deeper, which is the balance, and the yellow one, which is the credit score, to show very well. You can do the adjustment by changing them and changing the title bar. So I believe with the aid of this, with practice, you should be able to do well on Excel, and everyone who watches it can practice along. Thank you very much for your time.